We had to start off with a bang. Bang, 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 bang. Let me start off with a bang, bang, dropping a flame. Ain't playing no game. No, I'm losing my brain. I'm going insane. I must complete my mission to corrupt the system. And who gon' stop me, huh?
What's good? It's me, J King, aka Coach OG. Shout out to all my OGs, OHG, old head gang, my IQ ballers, and the Clamp Camp. You know what it is when it comes to the Clamp Camp. You know, we ain't ducking no smoke. We clamping everybody up. Man, I got something different for y'all today, man. I initially was going to do a different video for y'all today, man. This one just came up last minute, man. The situation didn't come up last minute, but my desire to speak on it came up last minute. So we're going to jump into this Sarver's, I think it's his name, Sarver's, the owner for the Suns and the Mercury, the Pheonix teams, the two Pheonix teams, the NBA and WNBA team, had some racial and misogynistic remarks found, I think, in his email or something. He was caught saying it, or either it was an audio or something like that. But basically, he was caught saying it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he was talking about potential. You know, I hope they would have some type of forgiveness. He was put on a 1-year suspension, and then he decided to sell the team. So we're going to look at some videos just kind of talking about that and just kind of discussing, man. There were some things said I thought it was pretty interesting. This is one of the ones, Stephen A. speaking on it. So we'll get into that. Robert Sarver, that's his name. We don't give a fuck what his name is.
And WNBA's Pheonix Mercury franchises. Sarver was suspended 1 year and fined $10 million last week after an NBA investigation found that he used the N-word at least 5 times and was involved in instances of inequitable conduct for
5 times.
Employees.
That ain't no accident.
Yesterday, Sarver said in part, "As a man of faith, I believe in atonement and the path to forgiveness. I expected that the commissioner's 1-year suspension would provide the time for me to focus and make amends and remove my personal controversy from the teams that I and so many fans love. But in our current unforgiving climate, it has become painful."
So, bruh, let's address that first part. We're going to break that down. Because this is, first of all, bring it back up. Let me see if I can go back. See if I can get back without doing too much. Okay, there we go. Why is it that when people do something, they bring up religion? Like that's some type of automatic disclaimer, or not disclaimer, but excuse to, or I don't know. It's like an automatic thing to be able to say to make us believe that you are a good person despite your racist and sexist attitude that you are already showing. You know, your character has been exposed, but it's okay because I am a man of faith. I am religious. I believe in God. Like that means nothing to me, bro. Like they still raped and pillaged in the name of Jesus and God and to spread a religion. Like everybody didn't have the best interest of what was going on. Like, stop it, bro. I just hate that so much, man. And then they use words that also circle around religion, like faith and atonement and forgiveness. You know, some oh, you know, the 1-year suspension, give me time to focus and make amends to remove. Like, nah, bro, that's who you are, bro. You look at this man. Look at this man. Look at this man, bro. He wasn't born freaking yesterday, bro. He wasn't born yesterday. He's not no young man. Look at the eyes, bro. Look at under the eyes. Look around the size of his forehead. You know what I'm saying? Look at the neck. He ain't no young man, bro. He ain't no young man. And let's be real, bro. This ain't the first instance of something like this. Let's not remind you why I didn't like the Clippers for so long. Because of the owner. Remember that whole thing when Chris Paul was there? I don't know. This seems thinks he's to follow Chris Paul too, by the way. I don't know. But just joking. I love Chris Paul. Not making it seem like it's Chris Paul. He had nothing to do with it. All right, please don't do this. But he's not no young man, bro. Like, this is not a new. I'm pretty sure you were raised like this. So the idea that you just all of a sudden gonna find this sense of atonement and newfound mentality at this stage of your life, like, stop it, bro. Stop it. That's bull. That's big bull. And, you know what I'm saying? And then the let's go to the next part before I, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to jump ahead.
So
Go ahead.
many fans love. But in our current unforgiving climate, it has become painfully clear that is no longer possible for those reasons.
And that's what killed me too. The idea, the excuses, and like it's the world's fault that you're like this, or the world's fault that this, like, making excuses for you being who you are, bro. In this current unforgiving climate, it has become painfully clear that, man, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm messing up my monetization or the possibility of me being monetized by talking this way, but this ain't time to be dilly-dallying around words, man. Fuck all that. That's bullshit. I'm tired of y'all making excuses. Stop making excuses. You are who you are, bro. Unforgiving. Everybody's entitled to forgive. All right, tell that to the freaking inmates that trying to reform their lives. But we don't want to apply that to them. You don't want to say that when it comes to them. Somebody tries to come out of prison or jail and reform their life or had a past life and they try to change their life. You don't want to put them in that same category. You don't want to speak to them like that. You don't want to give them an opportunity. They got to take that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Themselves. But we supposed to believe you that at this age of your life, you're still expressing this type of mentality and character. And we're supposed to believe that all of a sudden at this stage of your life, you're going to be willing to change, to be earning of forgiveness. No, you don't. You're not forgiving. You feel the way you feel. Like, you at this point, you might as well just accept it or embrace it rather. Like, I'd rather you embrace it and stop trying to lie to my face like you're not a fucking racist. Fuck out of here.
Process of seeking buyers for the Suns and Mercury.
This ain't meant for kids.
Responded saying, I fully support the decision by Robert Sarver to sell the Pheonix Suns and Mercury.
Yeah, we all support that shit. Get out of here.
And LeBron James, who last week criticized the league for its handling of the Sarver punishment, tweeted yesterday in response to the news of Sarver planning to sell his team. That's a
true fact, man. The NBA has consistently been a part of progress and you know, just the NBA has been good with. This is why I look at the NBA, but I don't look at the NFL, because the NBA has consistently been willing to allow players to express themselves and even take measures of progress towards against racial inequality and sexist and just different inequalities, period. Like, they've been a part of all that. You know what I'm saying? They've shown support to all different types of cultures and communities, i.e. showing support to the WNBA, showing support to the different countries, you know what I'm saying, different ethnicities. Like, they have shown mass support to different groups. You know what I'm saying? That's why I support the NBA, man. And it just aligns with me, the fact that I'm a big basketball fan in the first place. So I'm just glad I didn't have to do with them that I did do with the NFL. Let's go with Stephen A. I don't always like Stephen A, but he be saying sometimes he good with me. You know what I'm saying? Today he good with me.
This message is directly to
Generally speaking, he's hella entertaining. He's great at what he does, though.
Sir, I want you to know that your quote should be taken into serious consideration when you allude to the climate that we're living in and the absence of the ability to atone for your transgressions. I want you to know that that's a very profound point that you made. But it doesn't mean it applies to you.
Big facts.
Sir, I don't know you from a can of paint.
Nope.
I've met you
Don't
once.
care to.
Seemed you were pleasant, cordial, the whole bit. I don't know you. You're one of the few owners I actually don't know. I will tell you this, though. While I don't think there's anybody in a position to define your character and what you are, we do have a license to say what you exhibited. What you exhibited was racist behavior.
Exactly.
Misogynistic behavior.
Exactly.
And the fact that it wasn't a incident, the fact that it was a multitude of incidences, the fact that it was a multitude of incidences that spanned years
would show that you have a
does
consistency of it. It wasn't a
to
moment.
your character.
It wasn't no
As I'm
moment.
popular for saying, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck,
It ain't no
a damn
mongoose.
goose. You did these things. You did it for a league that is renowned for being progressive in their thinking, that is renowned for debunking and
So you going against the
squashing
progress that the NBA
such
creates towards these
egregious
type of
behavior.
things. Yeah, you
have
don't you
players
should be
that make up
taken out, bro. Like you shouldn't be there. Period.
75% of this league is African American.
75 shit. I thought it was more than that. I ain't even gonna hold you.
You should be given credit for that.
Yeah,
You
big
hired
facts.
a black man as your general manager.
Yep.
James Jones.
James Jones
basketball operation.
did a good job too. And Monty Williams, you know what I'm saying, as the coach. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But they'll do what they got to do to put us in employment to make money. That means nothing to me.
Offensive for a white man to do, particularly a white man who has the kind of money, influence, and power that you have, and has dominion over a lot of people's lives in terms of employing folks. You have women who have complained about your misogyny.
And it's a lot of them like that. He ain't the only one. He is not the only one.
Would it not have behooved you to wait a little bit more than 10 minutes to do so before you acted like you were a damn victim?
That's the thing. It's that part, bro, that bothers me more than anything. Like, you racist gonna be what you gonna be. Like, I mean, we just gotta wait till y'all die off and hope that your cancerous mentality did not spread to your younglings. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm hoping for. I'm just waiting for y'all to die off. That's it. Ignorance is spreading, but I'm just hoping that it's diluting enough that eventually we'll reach a time of true equality. And these cancerous prejudice and racist mentalities will disappear or decimate because it just will die with the older ones. But the fact that you act like victims is what gets me. You're a freaking millionaire, if not a billionaire. I don't know what you're worth, but I know you're worth a lot. It takes a lot to own an NBA team. You just got fined $10 million, and I feel like that didn't even hurt you. And you're selling 2 professional teams. You are the owner of 2 professional teams. The Pheonix Suns, an NBA professional team, and the Pheonix Mercury, a WNBA professional team. You got a lot of money. Don't talk to me about your victimhood. Like, you have the utmost amount of privilege. You are a Caucasian male in America who's also rich. You have the most privilege in this country than any other group. Hence how Donald Trump is getting around a lot of stuff. We ain't here to talk about that, though. Let's go ahead.
Better than that, sir. LeBron James was right. Chris Paul was right. The only thing they did wrong was
this is
wait
me.
all the damn time before they told you that you needed to go. Draymond Green, I want to say this. Draymond Green and Adam Silver are the 2 people who deserve the most credit. Adam Silver is not a good commissioner. He's a phenomenal commissioner.
Adam Silver is a very good commissioner,
Man
man.
just seems to make
Very
all
good
right
commissioner.
decisions all the time.
I don't know
When
why
saw
this is
him
on
at that
here.
press conference the other day, I knew something was up because he looked as uncomfortable as I ever saw him. You know why Adam Silver was uncomfortable? Because Mr. Sarver, he knew you needed to go. He knew you needed to go. He just didn't want litigation. But
Right.
he knew you needed to go. Okay? And in the case of Draymond Green,
That makes sense.
with his
I ain't thinking about that because I wonder why he just ain't get sent out.
Let's step back and give
But,
this
you
brother
know, white
credit.
folk gonna
Sometimes we
fight
take
back.
credit from this brother.
Right.
Draymond Green, I got you, producer. I hear you loud and clear. Let me tell you something. Draymond Green deserves a whole bunch of credit. Because Draymond Green was on the record, and Draymond Green said, quote, "It needs to be put to a vote. We need to find out what owners are supportive of him staying and going.
Weed them out. Okay. All right. Okay, Draymond. That makes sense. That do make sense.
Owners in that position because on one hand they might have wanted them to go, but on the other hand they don't want to find themselves in a situation where suddenly it opens a Pandora's box and it makes it easy for you to target them for any old thing.
Facts.
And they were mindful
Facts.
of that.
And then all y'all
So
be
Sarver
investigated
taking this
behind the
was
scenes.
The first right thing he's done, it appears, in a while.
That
Draymond
makes
Green
sense.
deserves a boatload of credit for this because he was the one, not me, not others in media, not the.
That's a great idea, man. That's a great idea. But he had already been like, he gonna get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even go. Actually, okay, here go Draymond Green right here. We ain't gonna look at this whole 24 minutes, y'all. We just gonna try to get a glimpse into what he talking about. But that makes sense though, man. That actually makes a lot of sense to try to weave him out. So yeah, let it go to a vote. See what they want to do. But they ain't gonna do it. I see you investigate all of them anyway.
The governor of the Phoenix Suns, who was recently suspended.
Yeah, excuse me for the sniffling, man. I got my allergies acting up.
NBA and fined $10 million for his or how he conducted himself in the workplace. Because to get suspended for 1 year and fined $10 million. I mean, the only way you get suspended for 1 year and fined $10 million is if you are the owner of an asset and you can't be fired. Because I think anyone else in the NBA who, and especially from,
I'm gonna get to the meat and potatoes. What are you trying to say?
Get thrown out of the league for less. But I think anyone.
He's right though. They get hold to a different type of standard because of their ownership, so they don't they can't just get fired. It's not that simple.
The investigation into Robert Sarver came out about anyone else. And as I said before, I've sat back for 5 or 6 days and just kind of watched different people's reactions. And
like you about to talk about it now.
A lot of things around this or surrounding
I really rock with
this is
Draymond,
very
man. Shout out to
interesting
Draymond
to me
Green, just in
because,
general, player
number
and
one,
person.
If you use the N-word to re-describe something that someone said or telling a story that someone has told you or using the word because someone else did, stop it. That's ridiculous. To have to even use the word again does not validate or make it okay for Robert Sarver to use the N-word.
No, it's never okay to use the word, bro.
I saw the report.
And I got Caucasian friends that use the word.
At least 5 times.
And sometimes I say something, sometimes I don't. But at the end of the day, bro, it's really not okay for you to use it, period. Like, I don't care what song you listen to, none of that shit.
At least 5 times, could be 6 times.
But I don't get offended by it the same way either, though. So, to be honest with you, so
that
it's like,
is just a word
that's a whole nother
that
conversation.
You use and are comfortable using. Now,
China.
Quite A ending and not an ER ending. However, not really that matters or not.
No.
But
it's a matter of context.
ER does get a little harsher.
Yeah, because it's a matter of context.
And quite frankly,
but
I can't
you shouldn't use it either way.
That in his vocabulary is the N-word ending in A.
Not now, never.
I can't imagine
Talk to
in his
him.
vocabulary is the N-word ending in ER.
Most certainly. Look at the man. You don't judge a book by its cover, and I don't just assume you're racist. But once it comes up,
or
history, man, history.
Is that it baffles me that people try to decipher the difference in between the two. Well,
it doesn't matter. Big facts.
ER or S.
Anybody try to hear all that? All that ERA shit. Nah. I don't care, bro. you ain't got the right to use that word.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Facts,
What
bro. Like, just
also-
understand the
what
history of the
else
world.
is
Like, y'all,
ridiculous
we don't
is-
fight for no extra other shit.
And by the way, I
But
say
there's a
this
discrepancy
as
right now.
someone
You can
who
use the word
actually
nigga. Like,
uses
shut the fuck
word.
up.
When I am amongst my friend groups, when I am amongst people I'm close with, I too am a little,
I hate to be skipping through it, stuff like this, but I'm trying to get to the point.
or just say wrong. I too am a little wrong for using the word.
I admit that too. I use the word. I try not to as much, but
Out of touch.
yeah, but
Because
I ain't gonna
Here's
say
why I
I'm right
say
for using it, but I got the right to use it
The
versus you
fact
as a white male
that
or white person, period, or anybody who's not black.
I
have
myself
black
and
descent.
others, will use such a word as an endearing term, a little messed up in itself. I grew up using that word. I probably won't use the word again. It is what it is. But the reality is I still do use it. That like you don't really hear words in that vein for other nationalities, for other
Right,
words
and I
that's
don't
been
understand it
used
either. Like,
for
we're not going
us
around
as African Americans
using
to,
offensive words
degrade
as a
us, to
endearment or making an
disrespect
argument.
us,
Like, you're not
to
calling
call
Hispanic
us
like, hey, what's up, my
everything
spick? Like,
except
nah,
for-
bro. Like,
except for
and you
our
thinking like
name.
you're not gonna go to a
Why
Hispanic
is
and say
that
spick
term
and think it's cool. Like, it's not cool,
used
bro.
as a term of endearment? I think it's
Shout
actually
out to my Latinx
insane.
crew.
I've been doing more, but let's not get off topic because that's
Thank
a
you,
totally
because
different
I'm trying to do something here, Draymond.
But the conversation that needs to be had is
Talk about it.
how can someone that's leading an organization like Robert Sarver, which, let's face it, the reason your organization thrives the way the organizations thrive is pretty much built on the backs of
Black folk,
African Americans.
big facts.
Because,
Monty Williams,
I mean,
James
just look at
Jones,
the team roster.
Chris Paul,
Um,
Devin Booker.
This is also
I keep going.
a team that has an African American coach.
We already know all that. We ain't gonna do that again.
So
I just did it for y'all.
the thriving that's going on in that organization is 100% being heavily driven by African Americans. It's a 1-year ban because it's only a year. Does everything just go back to normal? Are those guys
It should never go
supposed
back
to
to normal.
See everything that they just saw and heard? Are those guys supposed to feel comfortable with continuing to work with this guy? And quite frankly, I think it'd be absolutely insane if they were. But to each his own. I can't judge how they feel or how they may. Absolutely insane that Robert Sarver's just going to receive a 1-year ban and $10 million fine and just return to the sidelines next year and return to the building that the NBA stands for.
The players will never look at him the same,
NBA stands
and they shouldn't.
for-
Especially Chris Paul. Chris Paul spoke out against him, and he's
The NBA
one of the
stands
players on his
for
team.
Diversity. And I commend Adam Silver, our commissioner, and the entire staff at the league office for the stands that they have taken over the years.
Mhm.
I don't think
You
there's
gotta
been
respect that.
any other organization or league that
Nah,
supports
nope,
their
nobody
players
else but the NBA
like
right now.
the
Like
NBA
that's
supports
at that height
So,
anyway that
this
we
does
know of.
not erase. Like, one thing you do, I know we want you to
Come
be
on.
a bad person. Let me say this. This does not paint Adam or the NBA as like these bad people, as if all the decisions that they've made up until this point have been incredible and this one kind of fell short of what should be.
I don't feel like
This
it
does not
felt.
paint
I think it should have been more than a
But-
year though. But I wouldn't say they fall short because of the legality
Everything that the
reasons.
NBA
That you
stands
can't do
against
as much as you
and
want to
stand
do.
for. This report
This is
that
an
came
owner,
out last
a
week
million or
is the
possible
total
billion-dollar
opposite
owner.
of
Like,
everything that
they
the
have
NBA
certain
stands for.
powers that be because
And
of their
so
ownership.
To think that someone like Robert Sarver, that's acting in that manner, can continue to represent us, that's bullshit. You can't continue to represent way more people than yourself with those views.
Big facts.
Speaking to people.
That's
the
an
way he
important,
did,
very
with
important point.
treating,
Very important for the sake of the NBA and that team and the players on it and the staff. I mean, at that point, the team could strike. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like how the Clippers did, the Clippers players did the organization, or because of what their owner had did in his comments about Magic Johnson.
We don't support that. We don't do this. We don't do that. And we're kind of left
In a
out on
racial
our own
capacity.
to
If you don't
figure
know
it
about it,
out.
go look that up. If you want me to look it up and
This
talk
guy
about it, we can
gets to
do that too.
come
Just
back
let me know in the
fold
comments.
As if he's still representing us. Can't be so. Because for us,
Raymond, I'm trying to wrap this up.
especially as African Americans, I'm uncomfortable.
Very.
I'm very uncomfortable.
Very.
And
Because I want to like
knowing
Phoenix. I'm a Chris Paul fan. Just like I wanted to like the
in
Clippers because
that
I'm a Chris Paul fan.
position,
And now
you could just
I don't like the Clippers to this
essentially
day.
do
I really don't
whatever
like
you
them like
want
this to this day. And I like
because
John
you
Wall.
own an
You know what I'm
asset.
saying? I think it's a
can't
good
be
team.
punished. And so
I
I
should
saw
like
what
them based
Commissioner
off how
Sarver said.
my standards.
I've taken the steps that I can take, the maximum penalty that I can hand out. I hand it out, and now it falls on the franchise
Right.
forced to sell. That vote would fall on 2/3 of the other owners of these assets. And so what I would say is then why don't we pose a vote?
Here we go.
Because that is definitely an offense that is probably
Rendered to
grounds for
get you
being
out.
forced to sell.
Right.
I personally myself was actually a part of the game that was about to be played right after the Donald Sterling.
Donald Sterling. That
press
was the guy's name for the
conference,
Clippers.
which, if you remember back, it was Commissioner Adam Silver's first thing that he really had to take a stand on as the commissioner of
We
the
got
NBA,
him up out of there.
which was a tough one. And I remember we were not going to play that game that night if we, the players, didn't think that Adam had taken the necessary steps that should be taken, that if the hammer that he dropped was not as tough or as hard as it should have been dropped, we were not going to play that night. Looking back on that, even with that, I still didn't think we should have played.
I
However,
didn't know
was
that.
super young. Probably think I was in my second year in the NBA. Had no say. Whatever
Never
was
even
gonna
realized
happen,
that either,
I just had to
but
go along with. I had
That's
no
crazy.
say.
That's going on behind the scenes though.
But
Like,
I was a part of that game.
but I feel that.
And I remember us seeing that announcement that Adam made. Was like, all right, well, I guess we're going to play. And so a part of me wonder why was it okay then, but not okay now.
We've gotten deeper into our mindset.
I would really need some clarity on that. Of how was it able to, like, how was it that Donald Sterling could be forced to sell and he's not? It's the same thing. The only difference is we don't have a recording, but we do have a ton of people. And
And he
if
pretty
you've
much
read the
admitted to it.
interview,
You know, that's a good
If
point.
you haven't, you should. And if you have, you know the amount of people that were interviewed as a part of this investigation. Now, let me say something. I do not support cancel culture. I do not believe in cancel culture.
I don't
I
either.
think, quite frankly, if you want my
But some people
opinion,
just
I
deserve to be
think
canceled.
a lot of it is a bunch of bullshit. I think a lot of cancel culture are people that didn't work as hard in life or didn't make it as far in life and think they're just allowed to punish those that did.
I don't think that's
So,
the majority of cancel culture, but I
Let me
feel
make
what
it
you're
clear.
saying.
I do not support cancel culture. This is not cancel culture.
This is a get the fuck up out of
This
here.
is not like, I'm sure most people that are basketball fans can't walk past Robert Sarver and say, oh, that's Robert Sarver. So canceling him is like canceling someone, that's like two totally different things. So I want to make that clear. But it's a little baffling to me that we'll walk into the arena next year. The Pheonix Suns will walk into arena next year. He'll sit on the sideline, and we'll just continue on playing. So the one thing that I'm going to need is someone to explain to me why is it that it was okay to get rid of Sterling, but it's not possible to force Robert Sarver.
That's a good point. I didn't realize that either. David Sterling was forced to sell. So if he's forced to sell, why? Because I mean, I was accepting of it because I was thinking like that's the maximum thing you could do without legal issues, or a fight. You know what I'm saying? So, but if you have in your ownership agreements that you will treat and act in a equal and dignified manner, meaning nothing of misogynistic or sexual manners, misogynist manners, or even racial manners, or any type of discriminatory or derogatory remarks to other people within the organization or adjacent to the organization. If that's an agreement, then it should be grounds to be forced to sell. Like, I think that should be automatically in the agreement. So, I was thinking that maybe that it was an avoidance of that. That's what the conversation was. But if David Sterling, like, did you change it? Is that like, does every owner get a different contract? Maybe that's not in his contract, or or something of that matter. I don't really know how 100% how that works. But it is interesting to think that. It was okay then, but not now, and we have become more deeper into our mindset as we continue through life. It's more of the mentality towards equality in different ways. So it is a little off-putting to me that it was okay then, where we're further along today, and maybe that progression is part of what it is, what he was saying, like this unforgiving culture and all this stuff. There's a certain sensitivity in today's time, but that's not being sensitive. You use a word of high derogatory and disrespectful manner that has a history behind it, and you chose to use that word and freedom several times, and even in the Me Too movements and the talks about equality and equal pay and equal fairness and double standards as it pertains to women, you use during this time to be a misogynist. So you're not only a racist, but you're a misogynist. That's two different groups, two things that the NBA consistently fights against: misogyny and racism, because they have a partnership with the WNBA, and they're advocating for the WNBA, and then 75%, as we heard by Stephen A. 75% of the league is black, which I don't think we need Stephen A. to tell us that. We know that well over half the league is black. We know this. You can look and tell. If you look at any NBA game, you can tell the majority of the league is black. So that being said, like they stand against racial inequality and all this stuff. So and social injustice. So yeah, I don't get why it's not okay to force him out, but I mean, he's selling anyway. I don't think he's mentioned it now, but he's selling anyway. And this is why Stephen A. is saying that Draymond might have incited that, because, talking about a vote, he might not put the pressure on the other guys because they support him. Then now they're subject to a potential investigation. That makes them an easy target for an investigation as well. And then they're going to be forced out. And, one thing these type of people don't want is for their kind to be pushed out, because then that leaves room for us to come in. Make sure y'all can see my hand. Make sure it gives room for us to come in. And other people of minority descent. You know what I'm saying? That's not what they want. They want to control. They want to have control. They want to feel like, okay, all these niggers work for us type shit. You know what I'm saying? It's another type of slavery, but, you giving us money, high money. You messed up already because one thing a lot of us are, you put a lot of these dudes in the NBA, they came from nothing. They know how to make something out of nothing because that's how they got where they are. So they're going to flip some shit. You give them anything. You get them a lot of money. They're going to flip some shit. There's going to be some black owners. Shout out to D. Wade being I think he's a minority share owner. And I think that's what his title is, a minority share owner with the Utah Jazz. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Chris Paul has desires to become an owner in his after his NBA career. I'm pretty sure LeBron James has mentioned it in the past about wanting to be an owner, and I'm pretty sure he's already a billionaire. So I'm pretty sure he's definitely going to do that. I think he's probably going to go back home to Cleveland and try to. That's my prediction. But at the end of the day, bro, I too do not understand why I was okay then and not okay now.
To sell after what we read, and secondly, why isn't there just a vote being like, all right, so let's have the vote? Because then also what we'll know is
who supports it.
Who else may be standing behind closed doors?
I just say you investigate them all, period, bro. That's what I say. Because I believe the majority of them probably are.
I would love to know. And based on these
and votes, I think that would start affecting if people want to come and play for that organization.
Or maybe we won't.
Like,
just because someone votes
most of the best players in the league are black. They're not going to come to the organization. That's what it is. And even the white or even other ethnicity players, they won't come either. They won't come either. Like, these black people, they're brothers, man. They more than likely grew up playing with a lot of black people and stuff. They're not going to accept that.
No, they're using the word behind closed doors.
That's going to drive your organization to the ground, bro. And that's what needs to happen. Start watching what the hell you say, man.
Values. Like, what are the values?
All right. It won't necessarily mean that they're racist if they support them, but your value will be exposed.
What are they?
When you value your players, value
morals,
these. I was just about to say your morality and ethics.
Yourself. I think that's one thing.
That be exposed once again to the players who actually had the potential of being traded to that organization or being picked up by that organization.
Because it's easy to sit back and not say nothing. We all can sit back and not say anything. That way, your opinion just isn't heard. It's not that you had an opinion and it was against the popular opinion or not. It's just not heard. And no one's really asking for it. I'm asking that there be a vote. If that's the only way,
I agree.
Then let's
but
see what
it doesn't matter now. He up out of there.
Let's see what
he up out of it now, but I definitely agree with what he's saying. 100%. Shout out to Draymond, man. I've been rocking with you, man. I rock with you.
I did see PayPal say if he's going to continue
your willingness to just speak out, man. And you're a great player. I really, your defensive mindset, team mindset, I rock with that. The grit you play with, I rock with that.
For a force to sell. Now,
definitely.
It's how would that take place?
And maybe
because it 100% needs to take place. So how do
David Sterling was forced out because it was Magic Johnson? I don't know. That's the only difference I can see. Magic Johnson's a big person to be talking crazy about.
That's what I need answers on. I think more of my brothers in the NBA need answers on. And I am looking forward to hearing that. Lastly, before we get out of here, and this is to guys in the NBA, this is to agents, this is to anybody who may hear this and
probably got to advertise making this even longer. Oh my God.
Welcome to WOW, an hour of power. Let's get it on.
I don't know what that is, but it looks slightly interesting.
I recently read, I know everybody's caught up on the news of, oh man, we're going to get high school players going back from high school to the NBA. Great. I have no problem with that. Have at it. It's your business.
Oh, okay. All right. That ain't what we talking about. That's a conversation for another time. That's the change in the age requirement to join the draft. But shout out to Draymond Green. Shout out to Stephen A. Shout out to LeBron James. Shout out to Chris Paul and anybody else that spoke against this. From any YouTuber, any individual, period, man. We need all voices on deck for this, man. Because this is kind of crazy that we allow this to continue to happen, man. I've been holding y'all up a little too long, man. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here, man. But let me know in the comments how you feel about the situation, what you think that they should do about it, what you think the punishment should be or should have been, how you feel about them selling. Like, How do you feel about the climate of the world versus what's going on here? And that, all comments included, whether you agree with what's going on or not, man. All comments are welcome. Just don't come on no toxic stuff. Hence what we about to get at. Shout out to all my OGs, OHG, O-Head Gang. Shout out to the IQ Ballers and the Clamp Camp. Yo, hope y'all have a good day. Till you have a great day, including the weekend. Don't be toxic. That's ball. Appreciate y'all for coming through.